and welcome back to Late Night Love. And sorry, I got tonight on Late Night Love. We're stepping into the. I'm sorry, everybody. We've changed the workflow, and I got kerfuffled
for a second there.
Yeah, I forgot which one was doing what and everything. All right. Anyway, tonight on Late Night Love, we're stepping into the in between places, the moments where you're not quite sure if you're over someone, if you are the problem, or if the world has simply gotten a little too weird. And all three are a possibility. We are talking about the skirts that are too short, coworkers who want dating advice, teenagers who suddenly have social calendars, and partners who want more control up until they don't. It's one of those nights where questions aren't simple, the emotions aren't tidy, and the answers live somewhere between honesty, compassion, and a deep breath. So settle in, dim the lights, and let's wander through the messy middle together. But before we do all of that, you can send your questions, comments, suggestions, etc. to love@latenightLove.us.
As I fix that, I'm gonna have to splice that intro in. Anyway,
Like, share, subscribe.
do all that fun stuff for us. We appreciate it.
We really do.
Yeah, one of these days I'm gonna get caught up on things. But
well, not this last week. We were a little busy last week.
Busy?
We were sick.
Well, yeah, I had the flu. Yeah, I fractured my knee and then get the flu, and I'm still just not quite feeling right. I slept all day today. Anyway.
Good.
So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah.
All right. So we're going to hop along in tonight's life segment. We're looking at the strange little corners of adulthood, the unsolicited dress code commentary, the corporate team building rituals, the coworker crushes, and the eternal mystery of why some men insist on paying the whole bill. We are also talking about new hobbies, new confidence, and the quiet courage it takes to make the first move, whether it's in dating or in reclaiming your own time. So that's all of that. So that's what we're doing this week. All right, let's just hop right in.
Okay. Older coworker teacher says my skirt is too short. Okay, I had some experience in this, not in short skirts, but sleeveless shirts of all things. I had somebody put the copy of the dress code on my chair at work one time. And you know what my retort was?
Yeah.
I wore a see-through long sleeve shirt the next day.
Well, here's the thing. You're a teacher at this place. Older coworker teacher says my skirt was too short. So she's a teacher. Maybe your skirt is too short.
Mm-hmm.
A little decorum around here.
For the children.
It's not even for the children. Just, there's a little decorum, right? It's one thing you want to walk around the world. But, there's this thing called decorum. We don't know how short this skirt was or wasn't, right?
True.
It could be mid-thigh and be perfectly fine. Or it could be, riding up high and leaving little to the imagination, or anywhere in between. And so...
remember the fashion back, I forget how long ago it was, but you could see the globes, the bottom of the globes of the butt cheeks were showing.
Well, that's always
been around. It was that short.
That's always been around. They just use yoga pants for that now. So I don't know. I always say here, take it from the spirit which it is best given. So assume they're trying to tell you something, and maybe you should actually consider that, okay, maybe that particular skirt is not the right size for this particular occasion.
Yeah. For work.
Yeah. Especially if you're dealing with, if you're a teacher and you're dealing with children, it's got nothing to do with anything other than you have to play to the average. Right?
Yeah.
And so you don't get to dress as flamboyantly or as boringly, frankly, as possible. There's a balance in there somewhere. You don't necessarily have to be uber professional, but at the same
Well,
time,
no.
you do have to have some decorum. We don't know where it is. She could be wearing them, like I said, she could be having knee-high skirts, and it could be perfectly fine for any reasonable person. And I'm going to assume that her older coworker teachers, since 90% of teachers are women, this is another woman telling you that, hey, your skirt is a little too short. Maybe you should take that with at least some consideration.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Just think about it.
Yeah. Look at yourself from somebody else's perspective and see. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. I disrupted a corporate team building meeting by saying I'm only there to do my job. Am I the asshole here?
Yes and no.
Dude.
Yes. Hey, man, I'm with one of these things. I'm just wasting time, right? In a sense, you can get some of the team building things and blah, 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 blah. But you want to know the best way to build a good team is let them get their work done.
Actually let them socialize to the level that they want to.
Yeah. The best way to have a good team is to give them the support they need to get their job done well and let them get you don't need pizza parties. You don't need team building exercises. If you need all that, it's too late. There's something already broken. People just want to go in and get their job done and go home.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Truly.
most of what your team is.
Truly.
So let them. Right? Just let them, for the love of God. Now, I get it. You want to say, hey, second half of Friday, we're just going to go off and do something stupid. We're going to pay you to, we're going to go bowling or whatever. Just fine. That's a recreation day. That's not, don't call it team building. You're just going to go off and blow off some steam because we've been, working hard for 3 months straight.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're taking half a day off and just doing nothing essentially. All right. Have some fun. Don't have some fun. Whatever. Just nobody's actually working for these 4 hours. Right. That's the point. We're not letting anybody work for these 4 hours. We've been working too hard. We're just going to go blow off steam or not. That's how you actually build a team. Don't force them to participate. You just, you're coming along. You don't have to have fun. You can sit down over there, whatever. Nobody's working for these 4 hours. And so, yeah.
They do love the pizza party, don't they?
Well, yeah, because it's talked about averages. You're swinging for the average.
Swinging for the average. Okay.
Yeah. That's why everybody likes the pizza party, because everybody kind of like pizza. Right?
Yeah.
There's no secret to it. You get, Panda Express takeout, you're going to have 30% of the people who don't like it. Almost everybody, like 90%, you're going to hit pizza. So that's why people go for the pizza.
I appreciate a good taco.
It's like everybody's third or fourth choice. So it kind of works for everybody. That's why pizza works. All right.
My advice to women who never make the first move: try it. You guys are clueless. You need help.
You need a sign. Literally, write a sign.
Would you like to go out with me and do something sometime?
Yeah, seriously. Write a sign, take the back of your coaster or whatever, write a sign and hold it up. It's easier than you think. But we just need clear signs, especially these days. They used to be back in the day. Men would be more. They're going to take their shot anyway. So if you actually just put yourself in their circle, you are getting it's all you really had to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Eventually they'd get around to hitting on you.
It's just have to get relatively close and smile at the one you'd want, and it would happen.
Heaven forbid you wink at them.
But these days, everybody's much more timid. So if you want to stand out, be the one to take this plunge. It's difficult, especially when you're out of practice and they haven't had to do it because they've been using various apps and whatnot. And then we've been teaching both our men and women bad habits to how to interact with the others.
I know. What is this? A vegetable with water squirting out of it. What is this?
I don't know. I don't know what we've been teaching our poor young people. I feel bad for them in a sense because someone taught them some. I understand what maybe the goal was, but y'all did it in the worst possible way, teaching these poor kids how to interact with other human beings. And now you've got people who want to be single giving advice to people who want to get married. And for some reason, these people who want to get married are listening to them. And it's just, and it's going both ways. It's not a man or a woman thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody's seeking out the wrong advice from the wrong people.
I know.
And
what is this?
It's like the dumbest thing. It's like going to a man hater for advice on how to get a man and vice versa. So why are you people stupid? At some point, you're just asking the wrong person. Right? You want to get advice from somebody. Find the person who's been divorced 2 or 3 times, but is still out there looking for love and trying to find something and trying to make the life work. Those are the people who are going to give you good advice. They might not be able to follow through on their own good advice, but they're going to give you good advice because they have screwed everything up once or twice. And so they're going to go, yeah, here's the things you should and shouldn't do because here's
the things I screwed up on.
Here's the things I screwed up on. And my habits are burnt into me. It's too late for me. But you are young. You have the opportunity to grow. They'll encourage you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those are the people, oddly enough. Don't go for the bitter person who's all unhappy with themselves. Because if they're unhappy with themselves, they're just going to try and take you with them. Listen to the positive people who, despite all the scars in their lives, are still out there trying to make the best of it, because what else are you going to do?
It's a choice.
It is. It is a choice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Coworker asked how to ask another coworker out. Her friend.
Well, you probably don't, depending upon.
Don't do it.
Yeah, depending upon. Well, I mean, there's some jobs. If you're all working at the local pizza parlor or something, yeah, you're right. Nobody cares. If you're the baristas at Starbucks, yeah, okay, fine, go for it. And you're relatively equal. But if someone's your manager or something, or you're trying to climb corporate ladders and all that kind of stuff, then you'd be much, much, much more careful.
Yeah.
We'll say that, right? So it really depends. You got a couple people who are working at Walmart and your shifts cross every, I don't know, other week or something. Knock yourselves out. Go give it a whirl.
Yeah.
You can replace the job. Even at worst, you can replace the job, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, again, if you're trying to climb corporate ladders or someone's boss or supervisor or whatever,
that's good advice.
It's a different question.
Yeah.
Still not saying not do it. I'm just saying that it's a different equation. Okay.
Why do guys insist on paying for the full bill?
Well, appreciate it while you're getting it, because it's happening less and less. Better for worse. I'm not making a judgment on.
Is it showing I can provide food?
Yes.
To you? It's
I can provide for you. That's exactly. I mean, in the little lizard brains type thing we've got, that's exactly what wins women over historically. Forget, we're been civilized relatively short period of time. So most of our instincts are still back in how do you get a mate? You show that you can provide for them. how does women attract men? You show them you can give them children. That's what it was for the vast majority of human existence.
Yeah.
Forget the last 500 years. That's a blink in the eye. We haven't evolved for this stuff yet.
We have it. We have it.
We're still operating on an old OS, right? We're human 1.0 and we're waiting on the update. I'm just saying. So yes, that's exactly the instinct. That's what that instinct is. Then you get some cultural, right? The cultural
Things.
push.
Yeah.
The cultural push simply because it's become expected for whatever reasons. And and nowadays it's changing a little bit. So for better or for worse. I'm just saying the early dates are more likely to be split. And because young women, generally speaking, at least in large metro areas, are doing economically better than young men, they're having to pick up the slack because those shoes have changed in large metropolitan areas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because those young women get jobs with the government and nursing and right. Just think of where all the high employment percentages are. Where women are theoretically overrepresented, right? But there's more than 55%. Right. It's an overrepresentation. Education, it's what, 85% women. Government bureaucracies are 70-80% women, depending upon location.
Ooh.
These things, nursing. It's 80%.
Nursing, yeah.
Yeah. These things are those are all now well-paid fields in major metropolitan areas. Again, we go back to the location. You're talking somebody in rural Montana. It's a different equation than someone in downtown LA, right? It just
yeah.
Those aren't really comparable lifestyles, so don't compare them.
Okay.
All right.
Company requires employees to use their own phones for business calls. So present them with a bill.
You could. You could actually have them pay ask them to pay, depending upon your state. Some states, again, this is going to be location dependent. And frankly, this is one of those things. I would have them see if you can get them to pay for a second line thing on your phone, an app. So I don't want to use a business phone. I don't want to have two freaking phones. It's inconvenient. It's an annoyance.
Oh, it's nice. You leave your work phone at work.
I have an app thing that I just turn. If I wanted to turn my work thing off, I just turn it off. It goes to voicemail. I don't answer it. I never hear it.
Oh.
If I want the hours, I'd set what hours I want it to ring to me and what hours I want it to ring to straight to voicemail.
Wow.
And when I make phone calls, the number is from the office, not from my personal cell phone.
Nice.
And why would I want to use two phones in the modern day? We have the technology to use one device and separate these two things.
Ooh.
So just from a practical perspective, right? Have some self-respect and be able to navigate your own, be able to look at your phone and say, no, that's work. I'm not answering.
Yeah.
Just, don't be a victim. But at the same time, I get it. If it's actually costing you some money or extra annoyance, if you're like me, just get an app that takes it and have them pay for the app. For us, it comes with part of the phone system at work. Just part of the phone system. So
very nice.
But I do get why some people might find it annoying, especially if okay. Here's a caveat. If you're like a salesman,
I know
there is going to be a caveat. If you're like a salesman, I would get a phone that actually would have two SIM cards, so you could have two numbers to the same thing and have them pay part of it.
Yeah.
Because as your compensation package. But I could see why you'd want 2 phones. And then get a second phone and have them pay for the second phone. There's the other answer.
Okay.
Get Mint Mobile. It's $10 a month, with some cheapo phone. There you go. Because you're not using it for anything else but phone calls. So you don't need data, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you're just using phone calls. So you just get the smallest plan you need. Minutes are free these days. It's not like the old days where you paid for minutes. So you pay for data now, not minutes. So if you're not watching YouTube on your business phone, you're not using any data.
Ooh, okay.
All you're doing is taking phone calls. You're not using any data.
Nice.
Now, emails and whatnot, so you'd have a little bit, but it comes with even the smallest plan comes with enough for that. All right.
Okay, we got a last question. It's a dating question.
Okay.
New hobbies to find a girlfriend. He's a gamer.
Uh-huh.
And, it's dawned on him that no girl is going to come in and sit down and start playing games with him, that he has to go out and search for someone. And it's just not happening in the gaming community.
Well, no, because while there are women in the gaming community, it's the 80-90%. If your percentages are low, just because.
Yeah.
Gamer girls are they're not a dime a dozen, shall we say. There's a reason. There's a handful of them, and it's probably annoying. So half of them probably rule out other gamer guys because right, they've been annoyed by them their whole lives, and so instead they do something else. Here's the thing: you got to do something that you're actually interested in.
I was just gonna say, what makes you attractive is seeing you doing something you enjoy,
and so
something you're good at, even trying something new and failing at it. It's endearing.
Yeah, there's lots of.
It really is. Getting a guy getting up and trying again, getting up and trying again. That is a quality we are looking for.
Well, maybe so, but you have to put yourself in a position where theoretically they're at least watching for that. I don't know. Just make yourself a well-rounded person is always my best guess, and do things that are interesting to you but are pushing your boundaries.
Yeah.
So maybe try acting or pick up, go learn to be a camera person.
Yeah.
Or whatever it is.
And don't underestimate just the simple going and doing a cleanup by the river, meeting people, start talking to girls.
Yeah, there you go. That's actually a good one. Go volunteer for something. Hey, your neighborhood has a neighborhood gardening thing. Help pull weeds once every couple of weeks.
Yeah. There's a lot of women in gardening.
But here's the thing: just do it because you want to do it, and then it becomes rather than I'm doing this.
Well, it's a bonus. It's a bonus.
Yes, but if you're actually doing it, this is the cruel twist of these things. If you're doing it to try to attract women, you're not going to attract women. You have to be doing it because you want to be doing it.
Yeah,
and that by its nature will attract women.
It will.
So you've got to find something you're going to want to naturally at least try to do.
Yeah.
Anyway, and then just kind of do that, and then that becomes. But then you become more attractive as a general human being because you're more confident because you have more skills, and this whole thing's kind of builds on itself. So
it really does. It just started to snowball effect.
And so next thing you know, it has nothing to do with the fact that you were in community gardening, but you're sitting at a coffee shop one day, and your general, confidence attracts. I don't know, if depending upon on your age, maybe it's the barista, maybe it's another customer, but your aura simply attracts the person that you want to meet, and it's kind of completely ass random, but yet it's not. because you've actually been working on yourself as a human being for the last 6 months. And so you're now much more confident human being, which is frankly the most attractive thing to a partner is the confidence in yourself.
It is.
So what
And that works both ways. I know.
Yeah. So what you choose to do is almost irrelevant, but as you gain more confidence and skills and your willingness to put yourself out in the world is just who you are. And damn the torpedoes, I'm just going to be who I am because I'm a generally nice guy anyway. And all that stuff built up. So I'm just saying.
That's good advice.
As convoluted as all it is, because life is awkward, unpredictable, and occasionally full of people who think your skirt length is their business, but you're allowed to take up space, to set boundaries, and to try new things without apologizing for it. So for me and Levy, we want you guys to have a good night. And please remember to, where's my thing? There it is. To love everybody.
Good night.
There we go. All right.
That was a little loud.
Yeah. Well.
That's okay. It's not like it's annoying or something. It's pretty cool. It's short.
All righty.
Okay, here we go.
And welcome back to Late Night Love. I'm Jazz, she's Levy, and love gets complicated, especially when the past isn't as finished as you thought. Tonight, we're sitting with the ache of old relationships resurfacing, the pride of watching your kids suddenly shine, and the confusion of modern parenting, sleepovers, phones, independence, and the delicate balance between letting go and holding on. But before we start all that, you can find us at latenightlove.us. You can send us your questions, comments, suggestions to love@latenight.us. And what else can they do, Levy?
Like, share, subscribe.
There you go. Do all that good fun stuff for us. It's greatly appreciated. All right. So what are we starting with here tonight?
Well, this one. Okay, now this is our love segment. So after a year of accepting that he's 31, his ex is 29, was gone forever.
Of course.
I got into a new relationship. Then I reached out to the ex and told her I still felt the same about her. And she was unexpectedly warm and eager to talk about it in the future. And now I'm completely lost, torn, and remorseful. Let me get this straight. You got someone in your hand who you've been building a relationship with, and she cares about you. And you're going to give that up for an ex who's an ex for a reason on a maybe?
Yeah, this is why you don't reach back out to your exes. Right? Because here's the thing. She was only interested in you until you got into another relationship. And now she's only interested in you. No. Don't look back. Only look forward. Whatever you think you had isn't the life that it was.
No.
You've got rose-colored glasses on for whatever reason, and it's time to take them off, put them away, and only look forward. That's the only suggestion I've got. So there.
I think that's very good advice. And ditto. I mean, what are you doing? Stop it.
Yeah.
Stop it.
You are quite literally deliberately tormenting yourself.
And you're creating this, what do they call them? Unfulfilled expectation or something, that you're creating disaster by your own making. This is not going to work out well. You're going to end up with no one. Seriously.
Yeah, it's one of these things. It's one of these things that you're tormenting yourself, right?
Now maybe
So-
maybe he needs to take some time and just be by himself for a little while.
Maybe that's true as well. But yeah, you just have to stop looking backward.
Okay.
You've created this mythology around your past with your ex, and it's not real. Otherwise, she wouldn't be your ex.
Yeah.
I mean, now sometimes someone can be your ex because they've got to move and to a job across the country, and it's not going to work out. And hey, you happen to smash into each other when you've both moved to Omaha or something, right? It's 10 years later. Okay, that kind of thing. All right, fine, but that's not what this is.
No.
No.
Self-fulfilling prophecy. That's what I was trying to. That's the word I was trying to think of.
Become a better you and then worry about the future, but
There you go.
stop looking backwards. Start looking forward.
Amen. Okay. My son went from bench warmer to starter in 3 months. How to duplicate this?
What do you mean?
Okay, he was in football. He was unfocused.
Yeah.
His head just wasn't in the game. All of a sudden, he's sharp. He's attentive. He's focused. He's dialed in. And coach saw it and put him in as a starter now. Now he's a starter. Now they want to duplicate this process, this intensity with schoolwork, at home with chores, focus.
Well, one that will come. Hey, but don't push it too hard because then you're going to ruin it. He found this all on his own. Leave him alone. This is what we call maturity, right? This is the process of maturing. Let it work its thing. You don't have to do anything other than what you have been doing. Don't change anything for the love of God. What's wrong with you?
It's working.
Yeah, it's working. Stick to the plan. Now is not the time for change. Let it work its thing out. When he sees that type of discipline, that type of focus rewards itself. You don't need to tell him. It's gonna start to leach into the rest of his life that he wants to apply it to. And he'll start choosing other things to apply it to on his own. All you've got to do is just keep supporting him. The program is working. Stop trying to. Now is not the time to change it. That's all I'm saying.
No, you're gonna fix what? Something that's working.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. My son is starting to mature at a rapid rate. How do we make this faster? By getting the fuck out of the way. Stop trying to control him. And he's clearly it's working. Just do what you've been doing. That's it.
I knew you'd love this one.
Oh, for the love of God. Stop trying so hard.
Okay. Boy-girl sleepovers. Is this a thing we're doing now? Only if you want grandchildren, darling.
Well, it depends how age it is, and blah blah blah. It's not really all that uncommon in our day.
I know what we were doing.
Yeah, you were playing spin the bottle at worst. There's not
No.
What?
We were waiting until everybody goes to sleep, and then we did the nasty.
Yeah, but you guys were in the middle, had nothing else to do. We at least had a bottle to spin. What the hell's wrong with you people?
We weren't allowed to drink. We were in the Bible Belt.
How old were you at this?
14.
Well, that's again, we go back to okay, how old this is. Boys and girls, they didn't say teenagers. You're talking 7, 8, or 14. Those are different things.
Okay.
I'm just saying. Jeez. But here's the thing. It doesn't matter what other people are doing.
what works right for your child.
Yeah, for you. It doesn't, but all my friends are doing it. But I don't care what all your friends are doing. Here's my good response to that. It's good to want things. Builds character when you don't get it.
Even though they teaches perseverance, you know.
Hey, it's fine to ask.
Yeah.
Yeah. Worst thing that can happen is I can tell you it's good to want things.
Yeah.
That's, you're not gonna get in trouble for asking, but you're not gonna get a great response. But hey, you never know. Dad might be crazy today. You never know.
You don't know.
He might just want to get me out of his hair. So, hey, who knows?
Well, let's try it.
Yeah, with a shot.
Payoffs are big. No real downside.
Yeah, the only real downside is Dad insults me. That's for asking a stupid question. What are you thinking? All right, what's next?
How do I support a hobby I absolutely hate?
What do you mean?
Gamer. He's a gamer.
Okay.
Now the parents recognize it as a hobby,
Okay.
but they recognize he is getting social time. So he's ahead as a gamer. He's ahead of the game. He's got parents who understand, but they don't agree with it. They think he should be out running around in the neighborhood, doing shit activities.
Until they actually do have them out running around in the neighborhood, and then you're tracking them on your phones and all this stuff. Come on now. This isn't the 80s where we got to run around in the neighborhood and no one cared. Sorry, it's just not how it works anymore. Maybe it should work like that, especially depending upon where you live, But for whatever reason, that became non-socially acceptable somewhere in the 90s. So essentially that ship has sailed.
Now everything is structured. So now your son found something that isn't structured.
So
yeah.
So you don't actually have to support it. You just have to not get in its way.
Just give him snacks.
Yeah, just
that's all he really needs.
And maybe you can encourage,
in this hobby. It's not like he needs transportation somewhere. How much support are you actually giving?
Here's the thing. Maybe you can get him interested in role-playing tabletop games, so at least him and his friends have to gather together and play D&D or something like that, or some other version of a tabletop role-playing game.
Yeah,
but then you're gonna have to support that. You're gonna have to let his friends and stuff come over and have a 6-hour session of pretending they're dragons and orcs and elves and.
Seriously, 6 hours.
And so you're going to have to choose which kind of one of these things you actually wanted to put up with. Because one of those things, him playing with his friends for 4 hours in his video games doesn't really cost you any time, effort, anything. All you just got to do is ignore it. Try ignore him and 6 of his friends over there, pretending to be dragons and knights and wizards and as they're rolling dice and role playing,
One ring to roll them all.
Essentially, right?
Mm-hmm.
But they're playing that in their heads and with figurines on the table.
Yeah.
Which one of those things you're actually going to get more upset with? Let him play his damn video games. All right, what's next?
Popular, yet not invited out. Is this how your teen is? She's 14 years old. She has friends at school. They text each other. They play online games.
Yeah.
But they don't go out. No one asks her to go out. They don't go roller skating, pool parties, stuff from her childhood.
Yes, because your childhood isn't their childhood. couple things. A, just because she doesn't go out doesn't necessarily mean she's not being asked to go out. 14-year-old girl, she might be asked to go do something, and her response is, "No, I'm good." And then she goes off and plays her video games. Just go back to that last question. Just because it's a girl doesn't mean, the video games aren't still her social outlet.
Mm-hmm.
So you're assuming that just because she's a girl, she should be out doing more girly things. She's doing exactly what she wants. This would be my guess. You want her going out roller skating and all that stuff. Until you do, then it's going to drive you crazy. So
There's a lot of driving involved. I had a very social teen.
Yeah.
And my weekends were not my own. So, make your choices.
yeah, and they're 14. They may not have people to help them go out. They may not have the cash to go out and do all these things. Roller skating ain't free,
No.
and none of these things are free.
And you get thirsty. Yeah. So you got to have some spending money.
Yeah, and they're 14. So
I know. Where are they going to get money?
do you really just want 14-year-old girls just kind of wandering out without the cash? It just doesn't seem like the greatest idea to me. So I'm just saying. But I'm going to go back to, just because she doesn't go out doesn't mean she's not invited out. She may be choosing not to go and perfectly happy to do so.
Yeah.
So
she's 14.
Yeah.
She's not 18 and about to go to college, and you're worried that she's not going to make friends. Come on.
No, you've already know she's got
she's got friends. She's got a social network. She's 14.
She's just choosing not to participate in real life activities. She's much more happy to go pretending to be.
She's happy at home right now. Enjoy it.
Yeah. Okay.
It's not going to last. Okay. Here, which brings us to our second one. These are 16 thoughts on family time and teenagers having own plans. Now, this one, 16, very social, got a lot of friends. They go out and do a lot of things because they're 16. They have their own life,
Yeah.
Basically, I did at 16.
Yeah. Does she work and she's got her own cash?
Yeah.
Yeah. She's practicing on being an adult. That's what they're going to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so what, you want her to come home and do what? Pictionary with you guys? Of course she's not going to want to do that.
No, they're talking about summer plans.
What, like a vacation or something?
Yeah.
Well, she's working, for the love of, just because you want to go, you going to pay her to miss work? She wants that cash. That cash to her is more important than going to the lake and hanging out.
Hanging out with you.
Yeah.
You're 16. She's 16.
Yeah. Now, this is one of these things where you can, depending upon how close your plans are and how, much of a family tradition it is and blah, 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 blah. There's compromises to be made at times.
No, if you're talking about the yearly family reunion, pay her to miss work
if you have to. But also remember, the yearly family reunion, there's a lot of people who come in for a couple of days and then leave and don't stay. And
that's right.
Why the family reunion might be a week or so. There's people who come in for the opening weekend or the ending weekend, or maybe they can slot a couple of days in the middle of the week, But there's just kind of always somebody there. And, yeah, it's a much more informal thing. These things happen a lot.
Yeah.
So, but she's 16. She is transitioning to an adult, and you kind of have to let her at some level.
She's being responsible.
Well, ish.
She is. No, ish. She doesn't quite have work-life balance figured out yet, but
Well, we don't know. She's working enough to go pay for her partying, right? Who knows? But that's part of the, learning process, the maturing process. It simply is.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
Kudos for raising a successful teen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or doing it so badly that they want to get away the hell away
They're
from
ready
you.
for they're done with you.
Yeah, I suppose.
You did your job. There you go.
Either way, you've done your job
You've done your job.
in some form
There
or
you
another.
go. You successfully raised, on the way to be a self-reliant adult. So there you go.
All right.
Okay. Ooh, this one. How are you limiting phone use this summer? She has a 15-year-old boy.
Why are you limiting phone use during the summer?
I know.
Well, here you're gonna have to decide. Okay, what's your actual goal?
They want him to get out and about.
Yeah, until they actually do. This is one of these things that drives me crazy. You want to get out and about, but then you also want to control everything they're doing and where they're going and all this kind of stuff. You can't have it both ways. You either got to let them go out and be feral and accept the consequences thereof, or the potential consequences thereof, or you can control their lives.
No, I know of it was my sister's neighbor. She had 2 kids, and she was a nurse. Those kids, she bought them bikes when they were like 5, and these kids, 2 of them, older brother and a younger sister, and they would be off. Carolyn would see them riding their bike, Helen gone, man. And the husband would shake his head, we're gonna find him dead. Well, these kids went off, and now they're in they became very confident adults, and they're like in doctorate programs and in college now, off doing their thing.
Learning about the world.
Yeah, because they got because they had that early freedom.
Yeah, but now, granted, your sister lives up in a relatively rural area, and so this is
this is Northern California. This is a little podunk town.
Yeah, so it's a little different than like if you're living in LA or someplace like that.
So yeah.
So it's, again, location counts, right? Location.
Yeah.
But generally speaking, I wouldn't limit the phone use.
No, why are you going to cut him off from his friends? Stop it.
Yeah, if you want them to go off and do things, you give them opportunities to go off and do things, right? Either by cutting them loose and letting them go off and be feral, but hopefully you've already done the job raising them so they can go handle that kind of thing. They're 15, they're at the age where they can start being responsible for their own actions. So let them. And or you've got to give them structured opportunities where you're willing to take them places and pick them up from places and give them the funding they need to participate in these kind of activities.
Yeah.
You're going to have to make a choice. I'd choose to let them unplug and be as feral as they do or don't want to do. Especially if they're actually taking care of their thing during school year, let them blow off their steam. 15-year-old kids, you've got it rough enough. Leave them alone when you can is my general suggestion.
Life is going to get very demanding for this young man, so let him be.
Yeah. It's generally my thing during the summer is you just let them be.
You've only got him for a couple more years.
Yeah. But it's always I generally speaking let my kids raise themselves with this, more as an information booth guidepost thing at that age. At 15, if I hadn't done my job already, well, most of the ship has sailed, right? I have essentially put in the operating system, so to speak, right?
Yeah.
And so the rest of this is just, inputs helping them navigate the world. That was my role at 15. I was no longer overly parenting them. I was, helping them navigate the world. As well, you can try that. It's not going to work out the way you think, but hey, knock yourself out. Life will teach you. They eventually stop jumping off the roof when they need himself in the face, right? These things solve themselves. You don't have to yell at them. Nature's going to take care of it all on its own. All right, he's lucky he didn't break his face, but hey, he learned his lesson. Boys, they like to jump off things, right?
The roof. What is boys and jumping off the roof? What's with that?
They like jumping off things, and it's just something they can climb up onto. Anyway, love isn't linear. It loops, it surprises, it challenges us to grow in ways we didn't expect. Whether you're navigating a rekindled connection or figuring out how to support a hobby you can't stand, you're doing the best you can. And that's really all that counts in the long run, is just doing the best you can. Anyway, for me and Lovey, have a good night. And please remember, switch on the mound, to love everybody.
Good night.
All righty. All right. Are we ready?
Oh, hold on. Okay.
And welcome to Late Night Love. Relationships ask us to be brave, to ask out the friend we've quietly loved, to admit when a partner's drinking scares us, to negotiate boundaries around group chats, and to talk honestly about intimacy without shame. Tonight, we're exploring the tender places where frustration meets vulnerability and where communication becomes the bridge back to each other. But before all of that, you can find us at latenightLove.us. You can send us your questions, comments, suggestions, etc. to love@latenightLove.us. And you can also do us the favor, hit the like, subscribe, share, all that good fun
Yes,
stuff.
please.
We appreciate all of that. So, all right, let's just jump right into this.
Okay.
Nonsense.
How can I ask out my recently divorced friend?
Hi, you want to go have some coffee?
Make it low key.
Well, no, okay, they're already a friend. So that's actually not going to work because they're just
Ooh.
thinking you're going to go out to coffee.
Would you like to go out on a date?
Yes, you're going to have to be a little more brave than coffee. Hey, I would like for us to go out and have an evening together that is more than, to explore something more than just friendship. You can be a little more. This is going to require your bravery.
Yeah, you're going to have to be brave.
You're actually going to have to bridge the gap that you're too embarrassed to want to bridge.
Now, if she's recently divorced, be prepared, like my sister, and she just completely became unglued, because I mean, when are you ready? She wasn't, but he wasn't persistent. He just let it be and let her think about it. And she came around, and they have been together 4 years now.
Yeah, well, again, it depends how recently.
And you know how he started it?
Huh.
With a meme.
Yeah, but they weren't already friends.
I know. Yeah, they were.
No, the coworkers.
Coworkers. Yeah, more coworkers.
Yeah, that's a little different.
Yeah.
Because they weren't like routinely going out to coffee or something. And I'm assuming that
that's true.
I'm assuming that these are friends who have, some type of, social interactions. And so you're actually changing the type of social interactions. And so you're actually going to have to broach the fact that I'm changing the way I want to socially interact with you. Now, you could actually try that. And just the surprise of the wording is going to get a laugh and a chuckle. And that's actually a pretty, just surrender to the awkwardness and just be as awkward as possible while still being, respectful.
Sincere.
Yeah.
Respectful. Yeah.
Yeah. You get, if nothing else, you get the chuckle out of it, even if she's not prepared for it. It's not threatening.
There you go. Yeah.
But also, depends how recently. If recently is last month, you probably want to wait a
You
little
want
bit.
to wait a little bit. You know what? Between 3 and 6 months.
Yeah, I'd stick closer to the 6 months thing, but especially as a friend, you want to make sure we've had time to process what their future wants to be.
And being a friend, I mean, you know where she's at
Yeah.
in
So,
the process.
so it
Yeah,
might be
'cause-
5 months, it might be 7 months, but you'll have a good idea as you're paying attention.
Because it is like a death. You know, it's a loss of a marriage and a future you thought you had together. And you kind of got to mourn that in their stages to mourning. Yeah. So,
Yep. So just be aware and proceed with caution and slow
Caution.
and compassion
there you
and
go.
a little bit of humor. It's surrender to the awkwardness if you're
Definitely.
once you're ready, maybe once you're ready to actually kind of start changing the nature of the
That
relationship.
will actually be a bonus in there for you. Kudos that'll give you points if you actually show that this is an awkward thing for you.
Yeah.
You're going to allow yourself to be emotionally vulnerable right out the gate. We can respect that. We like that.
Yeah, even if you're not, a thought that you'll at least, respect the fact that it's the awkwardness and like get a giggle out of it.
Yeah.
And all that kind of stuff. So
Yeah.
that's my suggestion. Okay.
Yeah. I am nervous when my fiance drinks. He gets angry. Okay. Run. Do not walk. Get thee to Al-Anon. You need support of people who have been through what you've been through, what you're going through right now. They have been there, and they will walk you through some steps. They're actually written up on the wall. Nothing's hidden, and it's not about him. It's going to be about you growing beyond this and the steps that you can take. And again, you're going to need the support of the ladies in the group.
Yeah, this is one of these things where I don't even care about if you go to Al-Anon because you're not the alcoholic, but that's a whole different thing. But yeah, it's called an ex-fiance now, simply because the nervousness is telling you something. It's your own internal red flags, alarm bells going off that you don't like this, and this person likely can't control their drinking. They're 28, they're not ready to yet. And so,
I stopped drinking at 28.
yeah, well, they're not ready to yet. So
No, obviously not.
no, they're still angry when they've been drinking. So that's
But if you tell him, this is why I'm leaving you.
I think she probably already has. Otherwise, she's not going to be nervous. He didn't respond to whatever she's tried to broach the subject, whether successfully or not, right? It's not. This is one of these things that you've already breached. Otherwise, she's not feeling nervous because she's broached the subject. It didn't get resolved in any shape, manner, or form. If not, it's likely gotten worse.
I know.
That's how these things go. And so this is called an ex-fiance until he puts his life together and stops drinking.
And because of how this was written, it seems as if she's not ready to immediately make him an ex.
I don't care. That's the answer.
So she needs Al-Anon to get her there.
She just needs someone to tell her that this is not an option. You're off.
Yeah.
You're asking her to do something she's not ready to do because she's not the person with the problem. And so she just needs someone, me or her sister or her mother, or
she has an issue,
or her brother or whatever it is. It doesn't matter. This is a simple conversation, not a process. Your alarm bells are going off for a reason, and you listen to them.
Well, I'm thinking there's more to his behavior than just being angry.
Makes my point even clearer.
Probably controlling, and she needs support.
I'm not disagreeing with you that she needs support, but she needs support from the people who can give her the immediate support she needs to
end it.
Yeah, there's just not a question. that you just start canceling your wedding plans. That's literally your option.
That's what you do.
Whatever wedding plans they are.
Everything. Oh, that's a number one. Everything gets put on hold.
Yeah. The ring goes back and you start having your own life because there's
This is not going to end well. He's not going to all of a sudden one day say, "Oh, I realize now I shouldn't drink," and just stop drinking. This is a process for him. He's got a ways to go. He's going to lose a few more women because of this before it dawns on him that he may have a drinking problem.
yeah, well, yeah, if you get angry when you drink, you have a drinking problem. You just do. You shouldn't be drinking. And if you can't control that, then you've got a bigger problem.
And seriously, do you want to know where this ends up? You in a hospital being beaten up. That's where this shit ends.
Well, or someone dead in a car crash in a DUI.
Yeah.
So,
There's no happy ending here for you. I'm sorry.
No, the only happy ending for you is that you're listening to yourself to cut bait and run.
Maybe 5 years from now when he comes to you and he gives you an amends, but
then he won't want it and you won't want it either. You'll be moved on. So
moved on.
It's not even relevant.
Yeah.
So, and you're 24. You have your whole life. You don't need to be dealing with somebody who can't control their liquor or their drinking. Yeah. Because remember, alcohol just allows what's underneath to come forward. He got a lot of work to do on himself. All right. What's next?
Okay. My fiance wants me to add her to my close all females group chat. What would you do in this situation? Okay. She knows these. They're all a group of friends.
Okay.
She knows them.
All right.
She met all his friends. They're friends too now.
Okay.
He has, with a couple of the females in the group, an intimate little group chat.
Okay.
She wants to be part of that group chat. And he just, he's just feeling just kind of ambivalent about it. He just really...
No, she needs to respect his privacy, even though this is one of those things where it's not really relevant. It's like we deal with it. It's if you want to look into my phone chats, knock yourselves out. I can go. You'd be bored. But
I forgot what your code is, but I know in my heart if I got
I do remember.
I got a mental tweak, something goes kerflooey, and all of a sudden I think I need to look at your phone. I could ask you for your code and you'd put it in yourself and hand it to me and go here.
I tell you the code. I'd be annoyed that you forgot it. It hadn't changed.
I forgot because I've never had to check. I've never felt the need to check your phone because I know I can.
It's the same freaking phone. Yeah. You can't guess that one. You need to go away. What the hell's wrong with you?
Oh, really? Oh, sweet. Okay, I know what it is now.
Yeah, you should.
It's your 4-digit passcode for everything.
I am not that secretive. There's not much in there. You knock yourself out. It's all boring. Okay. All right.
Okay, now we enter into our intimacy questions.
Okay.
Wife wants me to take control more, but keeps rejecting me when I do. It's incredibly frustrating. So stop.
Yeah.
She thinks she wants something.
She does. She thinks she wants something, but she doesn't, or your timing is incredibly bad. I suppose there's that. But my guess is, I don't want to say she's using this to be controlling, but she's using this to be controlling.
Well, we do like you chasing after us.
Yes, but the whole thing is you have to let them catch you on occasion.
Hello.
Yeah. Otherwise,
they stop chasing.
Yeah.
And here's a clue. Let them catch you more than you say no.
Well, you don't even have to do that because someone can ask her incredibly a lot. But you have to. 7 out of 10 times in baseball, 3 out of 10 times in baseball, and you're in the Hall of Fame, right? You bat
Stop
300.
it, really?
Yeah, you hit 300. It doesn't have to be, your percentage doesn't have to be great. You don't have to give out home runs all the time. Singles and stuff are just perfectly fine. And
I love your baseball metaphors for sex.
so I'm just saying, right? If she's going to go through the process of encouraging you, she has to at least on occasion be willing to actually follow through once she's
And really
encouraged.
have that conversation.
Yeah.
Tell her you asked for control, but you're rejecting me. What's up?
Yeah. So now here's the thing. Maybe she wasn't clear on exactly what she means.
And maybe what kind is
more important.
You're off.
Right. But if she doesn't tell you, how are you supposed to know? You're just guessing. We're not mind readers here. If you want something relatively specific, you're going to have to be relatively specific.
Yeah.
Because one person's idea of control and another person's idea of control don't necessarily mean they're even remotely compatible.
Mm-hmm. Maybe she thought, y'all are just going to wear outfits and do the same thing,
Yeah.
Don't know.
Maybe she wants, furry handcuffs and you brought a blindfold. Who knows, right? Because she wasn't clear on exactly what she wants.
Yeah.
And so you're going to have to figure out exactly what she wants.
Yeah.
And she's not going to want to tell you because she may not exactly know exactly what she wants. So she's leaving you to freaking take wild swings in the dark until she figures it out, which is unfair to you.
Now, sometimes what we want is a little embarrassing and it's hard to ask for because we think you're going to judge us.
Yeah. Welcome to everybody. Welcome to everybody about everybody's little quirks. This is just the way the world works, right? This is why communication in intimacy is so terrible. Everybody's embarrassed to ask for what they want. Right?
Yeah.
It just is.
Yeah.
Regardless of where it is. And you could actually have two people who actually would love the same thing. Oh, please gag me. And everybody'd be happy, but they're too afraid to ask the other person. You can both get exactly what you want if one of you would take the risk of actually asking for it.
Which brings me back to my first boyfriend giving me, this book of positions. He was at a loss too.
Yeah, they don't know. They don't know any more than you do.
He not a clue. Can we, he's like, can we figure this out together?
Yeah, well, that's the point, right? So communication on this is silly because we're all kind of embarrassed, but most importantly, we're afraid of being rejected, which is oddly enough, it's why the people who go off and cheat on their wives after 20 years, they go off and do something freaky because they're too afraid to get rejected by their wife. And so instead they blow up their whole lives. And
yeah.
And it's really not for the excitement. They're just afraid of being rejected again.
Yeah.
So fear of being rejected by your spouse is actually one of the biggest fears we all live by.
Mm.
And it makes us do dumb things. So,
well, sometimes.
Yeah.
I do things I feel stupid and then I eventually tell you because it's like keeping a secret. I don't like the feeling of keeping secrets from you.
So.
And you're like, yeah, I've done that too. And I worried about it for 2 weeks, telling you.
Yeah.
And reviewed in my head how I was going to say it.
Yeah, well, we have the advantage of being old and overly experienced, and so nothing surprises us anymore.
We've either done it, said it, seen it, read about it, watched a video.
And sometimes, all three. So, okay. What's next?
Okay. Let's see. Okay. Am I the problem for not having a lot of pleasure? Yeah, her boyfriend is getting mad at her because she's not going feral when he's just he wants to get her all whipped up. And she's like, your standard moaning and groaning and normal responses. She's responsive, just not going animal.
Well, oddly enough, yeah, I think all the people going animals like, well, you're trying too hard now.
I know.
I don't know. This is we're going back to again people's perceptions of what they are and are not doing are not necessarily the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Either way, right?
Yeah.
So for us to sit here and make a judgment, what you need a sex therapist, I suppose, technically, if you wanted to think about that, to actually get an unbiased opinion.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. If you can find yourself not even necessarily getting feral, just letting go and not worrying about being rejected and embarrassed during the thing is generally the best way to go. So is she being reserved? Probably.
Mm-hmm.
How reserved is she being? Probably not as much as he thinks she is, and probably not as much as she thinks she is. She's only going to be able to go so far just based upon her nature, right? She's not overly expressive, right? It's just not in her, regardless of how good of a time she's having, right? She could have the greatest time on the planet, and she's only going to go so far and expressive about it. It's just how it is. And for whatever reason, he's seen too many porn movies, or his last partner was overly expressive naturally. And so that's what he's expecting. And so, we all learn bad lessons from partners.
Well, he wants to know he's really hitting it out of the ballpark.
Yeah, that's tough. It's good to want things.
Okay, now here's a clue how often this happens. I think the younger generation has some unrealistic expectations. I remember the times that I have gone feral. Okay, it doesn't happen that often.
Well, no, because a lot of things have to go right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. You have to not be worried about the dishes. There's got to be no stress, other stresses on you.
Both pheromones have to line up.
You've got to have the time where you're not worried about
the kids
or having to go to bed in an hour so you can get up and
work,
get up at 5 or all the various things.
Yeah, everything has to just click.
Yeah,
a million little nuances,
And here's the thing. Men don't really have this problem because we have this testosterone thing, and testosterone makes us singular focused. And so whatever we're doing at the moment, especially when testosterone is kicked into high gear, is what we're going to focus on. Women have estrogen. They get this diffuse thinking. They think about a bazillion things at the same time. So when even when they're into it, they still got some voice in the back of their head chatting about the dishes sitting in the sink. They just do.
Actually, we're more sitting there. We're more laying there going, "Oh God, I hope I don't fart."
See, again, and men don't think about it. If it fart happens, you laugh at it and you move on because humans do stupid things when you.
Oh God, no.
Yeah,
it'll take us 5 minutes to recover.
Yeah, just saying.
We may have to stop.
Which is why we don't acknowledge that stuff when it happens with you guys. We don't care, right? The worst thing to happen is a queef because now we're worried. Is she thinking she's what and what not? And we don't give a crap. But you think we care. And again, back to perceptions. We know why this happens. We're not, we're not.
Y'all just really don't care.
We know what happens when human bodies get together along with various fluids.
You're so practical.
We are very practical people. Men are very practical people. What happens? Why are we expecting what happens to not happen? That's dumb. So what do you do about it? You ignore it like everything else. What's wrong with you? Not bad. You ignore it and it's out of your head in 5 seconds. What do you care? You're on to the right. You're past it already. Let it become the past. Okay.
How do I let my girlfriend know she's just not that good at blowjobs in a constructive way? You don't really, sweetheart. There's no way good. This
Well-
is going to end good.
Well, because here's the thing. These are one of these things is generically speaking, those who are good at it is because they like doing it. Generically speaking.
She's taking one for the team. You should shut up.
Well, yes and no. She may think she's actually doing good, and so then it becomes a problem. You're right, like anything. It's like not telling somebody you don't like a lime pie or something. Right. Next thing you know, they're always making you lime pie.
No, I think we're all open to a little bit. Could you be a little rougher, or that's too rough? Or how about could you start out slower and then go faster? I mean, we like a little constructive criticism, but sitting down and going, you're not very good at this, is not gonna go over.
Well, no, he's supposed to be careful. He says he wants to do it in a constructive way, so he doesn't want to kill the goose, right?
Because that's a very real possibility.
Yeah, you don't want to kill the goose. So I don't know. You could become more involved in the process, even without necessarily saying things, right? Changing how you actually, the physical aspects of it. There's all kinds of things you could theoretically do to help things along. But the best thing to do is make sure she's in the mood, would be my suggestion. The more someone's in the mood, the better they're going to be at it. So,
And then, here's a clue. Sometimes we are in the mood to just give oral.
Mhm.
We just want to do that for you. We want to.
Yeah, but you actually have to like doing that on some level.
Yeah.
The girls who don't like doing that, they're not going to want to do that, right?
Well, then they simply do not understand the power involved.
Well, no, they're just not that interested
It's
in that.
all right there.
Maybe so, but they're not that interested in it, which is fine, right? Everybody's got their things.
I
that
could
they-
reduce
they
you
do
to
or
a
don't like.
quivering mass of flesh.
Possibly, but not if you're not good at it. Well, that's not true. A bad one is better than none. So
I was gonna say,
well, no, that's not necessarily true.
okay,
It might just be a waste of time.
that's true. I've had dalliances where I'm like, why did I bother taking my clothes off? This is
So, sometimes you think you're going to be in the mood and you're not.
Yeah.
And then what do? You sailed the ship already.
Yeah.
You could technically say no, but that's kind of rude, right?
Oh, and here's one. You've been promising all day, and all of a sudden you just drop off.
Yeah.
Oh no, you're gonna go ahead. We do. We'll go ahead. And most women will, because we know y'all look forward to
And
it
here's the-
all day. Come on,
I get it.
you can't do that to somebody.
But here's the thing: you could actually go. You know what? I'm sorry, but all day I'll make it up to you. You just have to make it up to them the next time. You have to do the special thing.
You have to do the special thing. You have to do the thing.
Yeah. The next time you're gonna have to do the thing. You're just gonna have to make it up to them.
Whatever their thing is.
And it works both ways, right?
Yeah.
This is not when you make it up to them, you've got to do the special thing
Well, that's true. Like y'all can be talking about in the morning. When I get home, you're really gonna tear it up.
Even
sending
then, neck texts and everybody's all happy, but
and then you come home and you get your back hurts.
Yeah, and you're it happens. It happens.
Yeah.
So okay.
Okay, last question. Why does my girlfriend refuse oral sex even though we're comfortable with everything else? Well, she just made, it's oogie in the mouth. Germs, darling.
Well,
You go pee pee there. No.
yeah, she's not comfortable with as much as you think she is.
Yeah.
She's whatever reason she thinks that's a dirty place for her,
Mhm.
and all kinds of other things come out of there,
Yeah.
and it's too close. But
Yeah.
who knows? And
The
there may
whole-
be some trauma associated with it at some point. Sometimes people carry around baggage in unexpected ways.
Yeah.
That doesn't always, manifest in a way that makes sense because it doesn't have to.
Question is, are you going to give up somebody who loves you and maybe a good life over blowjobs?
Well, we don't know. He didn't say blowjobs. He says his girlfriend refuses oral sex. I'm thinking it's the other way around.
No, it's give and receive.
Oh, at all?
At all. None of it. It's oogie.
Either way?
Yeah. Pee pee. No. Ick.
Well, at some point, you're not going to care, right? But yes, again, she just thinks it's a dirty area.
Yeah.
Regardless of whether.
Hello, and you might have an accident, have a.
So.
Yeah. None of that. And it is something you got to push past mentally,
I'm actually going to suspect more trauma. There's some kind of trauma that's manifesting this way.
Okay.
I'm going to take a guess.
Uh.
I mean, there are people who just don't like it and all
Yeah.
that. So, but sometimes there's reasons people don't like it.
Yeah. True. She had something happen.
Yeah. So my gift there, it's not impossible. No. So, especially if everything else is kind of fine, right? It seems to be a weird line.
Yeah.
If there's weird lines, generally have reasons, rather than I just don't like it. There's a reason they don't like it.
Yeah.
And she may not even know. It may not even have active memory, right? It's sadly the world is, a sad place. But hopefully she just finds it oogie and she will change over time because we all evolve over time. If it's just
They didn't say how old they were.
and if
so.
she just generically feels it's dirty, right?
Yeah.
Because
It's a dirty area.
because that's what her religion taught her,
Yeah.
or something, that's a different story, right? That is its own kind of trauma, but it's a different kind, So we'll leave it at that. Being in a relationship means learning each other over and over again. It means honesty without cruelty, boundaries without punishment, and compassion even when the conversation is uncomfortable. You are not alone in figuring out. We are all learning in real time. As we wrap up tonight, remember, life doesn't hand out clean answers. It gives us people, moments, and choices. It asks us to show up with as much grace as we can manage. Whether you're navigating work drama, teenage independence, or the delicate dance of adult relationship, you are part of our community. Have a good night. From me and Lubby, please remember. Oh, crap. I get all confused tonight. Please remember to love everybody.
Good night.